Yo, what's going on YouTube? I am back with another video, and today we are going to be doing the Winter Major San Diego RLCS LAN predictions. Now, I just want to say before we get started with this that I've just been throwing videos out there trying to get the YouTube rolling again. So sorry if you think the content's maybe a little iffy. It's going to get better, trust me. I just want to get the channel rolling again, let people know I'm back, you know, because it's going to be a long while before we can start growing again. So I've just been throwing videos out there. And this also gives you guys a chance to, you know, comment down below what kind of videos you want to see. Do you want to see 1v1s, 2v2s? I'm thinking about bringing back team replay reviews, pro replay reviews, even other ideas too. So let me know what you guys want to see and I'll make it happen. But yeah, so let's get into this. So if you guys don't know, by the time I'm recording this, it's about 3 weeks, a little less than a month away to the San Diego Winter Major. Probably one of the most hyped majors of all time, with all the teams showing up and showing out. Like, these groups are insane. So yeah, this is just gonna be my predictions. Let's have some fun, and I'm gonna make it as realistic as possible. And I think this genuinely has a 75% chance of happening. So let's start off with Group A, and this is actually my group: FaZe, G2, Crew, and G1. So pretty tough group, nothing easy for sure. But let's just start FaZe versus G1. FaZe is looking like the best team in NA, probably second best in the world to Carmine right now. And G1, again, could be a really good team on LAN. You know, Spanish people like to get hype, so that does really well for them on LAN. So, but I still just think FaZe is way too clinical right now. So I'm going to give it a 3-1. Could go 3-2. I could even see G1 winning just because it's LAN, but I just got to give it to FaZe right now. So yeah. Up next, G2 versus Crew. Crew is a newly introduced team into the majors. They have not competed on LAN before. I think they're obviously going to be really mechanical, like most South American teams are. It's going to be an exciting match, but I do got to take us winning this one. I'm going to say 3-1 as well. And I hate predicting myself, my group, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, I hate predicting my own thing. I feel karma if I predict myself to win. So up next though, FaZe versus Crew. Again, I'm just going to keep going 3-1s because I think all of the teams in this group aren't terrible enough to let sweeps happen. So I at least say games taken out. Us versus G1, I think this is going to be a very fun game. I'm going to go 3-2 just because I think whoever wins this, it's going to be a close series. But obviously, I do think that I'm confident in my own self versus the EU 4 or 5 seed. But yeah, I think that's going to be an absolute banger of a match. Now, us versus FaZe. Honestly, the fact that this is best of 5 is the main thing that just makes this so tough. Because I honestly, again, like I said, I hate picking myself, but I really do think like we could easily, either team could just win this in a best of 5 and it could just go, you know, whichever way. I do want to pick myself and my team because I obviously know what we can do, and with practice and all of this coming up, what we could do. But I can't pick FaZe just because they've beaten us the past couple times. So like, where do I get that info from, right? Like, where do I get that confidence from if we, like, just statistically speaking, we haven't beat them the past couple times? So I'm going to go 3-2, but that does not mean that I don't believe in a possible win coming for us. I just hate being biased, and, you know, I also think karma is the real thing. So Crew versus G1, I think this could be a close series, but I think G1 pulls it out. So yeah. Now, Group B, a crazy stacked group. Carmine, the best team in the world. Vitality, new team, or European team coming to LAN that have not been there. Dignitas, the shocking NI 5 seed. See if they can turn some heads. And Falcons, who are always scary. Craziest round 1 match, most likely by far, is KC Falcons. That is absolutely nutty. But again, I'm going to go 3-1 just because Carmine looks so clinical right now. And I think that last LAN in Rotterdam, they're really going to learn a lot from it. So I see them coming out clinical. Now, Dignitas versus Vitality. I think Vitality only because they're new to LAN. They haven't been there in a while. I'm going to give Dignitas a game. Otherwise, I think it could be a 3-0. Carmine versus Dig. Unfortunately, I want my NA boys to do well, but I just don't really, especially Dries, I don't really see them stacking up, at least versus Carmine Corp. So I'm going to go 3-0. Vitality versus Falcons. Now, I'm actually going to go Falcons for this, just because Falcons, a lot of the LAN experience. They're going to play, unfortunately, their toughest match of the entire tournament possibly could be their first round. So if anything, could be a good warm-up or see where they're at. And then Vitality, I think I'm going to go 3-2. It's going to be a crazy series. But I do think Falcons is a super scary team, and they could literally get first to, you know, like 12th place any tournament. So Falcons is always a scary opponent to play. Carmine versus Vitality, EU versus EU Action. Again, it's just Carmine's too clinical right now, right? Like Vitality kind of fell off towards the end of the split, and Carmine's only going higher and higher. They did lose last regional, but come on, it was in the finals. So I'll go 3-1 Carmine. They're just looking too clinical. And Falcons, I'm going to have beating Dig. Again, I just don't think, I think Dig, unfortunately, this group they got thrown into is just really unfair for their first LAN. But, you know, life isn't fair, unfortunately. So Group C, absolutely wild group, to be honest. Secret is the 1 seed, followed by Liquid, Ground Zero, and Gaming Gladiators. So, as you guys might guess, Secret versus Gaming Gladiators, that's probably a 3-0. Team Liquid versus Ground Zero, 3-0. Secret versus Ground Zero. This could be an interesting one. I honestly think Secret wins, but I do think it goes 5. I think this could be easily a whoever wins in Game 5 type of situation. Liquid, Gaming Gladiators, 3-0. Secret versus Liquid. I think Liquid wins 3-1. Again, I think Liquid's getting better each and every LAN. So I think they're just going to come out and kind of just smash this group. And Ground Zero versus Gaming Gladiators, I'm going to go 3-1. But yeah, Gen G versus, or next Group D, I should say. Gen G, Oxygen, Complexity, Pioneers. Pretty stacked group. But almost every one of these groups is stacked. Now, Gen G is going to be clinical. They're going to be looking to prove themselves because NA kind of took that #1 spot from them. So they're going to be looking to, you know, turn heads again. Make sure everyone knows that the kind of season they're having. So I'm going to go 3-0. They're just going to be way too focused, way too locked in to lose. Now, Oxygen Complexity is probably the second best round 1 game, to be honest. Maybe third, but Oxygen versus Complexity, this is going to be a crazy one. I do think the LAN experience of Oxygen and the fact that CRR's never played on LAN and Razebull and AJG haven't played since Sweden is going to be a factor. So I think that because of that, I still think it's going to be a Game 5er, but I think Oxygen, the experience carries them over in Game 5. Now, Gen G Complexity. This is going to get tough run for Complexity, but Gen G does kind of own them. So I'm going to go 3-1. But again, I think it's more of Gen G that's going to be, you know, out for blood than Complexity not doing too well. Oxygen Pioneers. Do I give them a game? No, I don't give them a game. Now, Gen G versus Oxygen. This is a crazy match. Honestly, this one's tough to predict, man. I'm going to go Gen G winning 3-2 over Oxygen. I think they're just a better team, so that's kind of just what I base it off. And then I think Complexity wins 3-1 here. So that puts us into the playoffs. Here we go. So let's start at the top. We got Falcons versus Complexity, an absolute crazy round 1 match, you know. Falcons versus Complexity. Oof, who do you choose? Who do you choose? I'm going to go Falcons 3-2. I just think, again, Falcons LAN experience, and any series they can show up and just win. They have the talent. Some of the best players in the world, so yeah. Secret versus G1. Wow, this is tough. I honestly can see this going either way. Now, Secret did get top 4 in the last major, but I do want to say that was a little bit of a, not a fluke, but I just don't see I don't see them replicating it. So because of that, I'm gonna go 3-1 to G1. G2 versus Ground Zero. Ground Zero is the 1 seed coming out of OCE. 2 of their players have never been on a LAN before, but getting out of groups has definitely been an accomplishment for them. But they're obviously looking for more, but I still think that I'm confident enough to just take this. Ground Zero, 3, I'll give them a game. Oxygen versus Vitality, a little EU versus EU action. Unfortunately, I think Vitality, their run ends here. Oxygen, you know, just LAN experience, they got Rise. Rise has never not finished like 2nd or something at a major. So yeah, keep them going. Let's go top to bottom again. FaZe Clan versus Falcons. That's a crazy quarters. That'd be so hype. But like I said, best of 7, 4-2. FaZe looking in form. Not much for Falcons to do. It's gonna be a close one. It's gonna be a crazy high flying game. Probably a lot of highlights. Should be fun if it was to happen. But yeah. And then for this one, again, Gen G's looking out for blood. I think they're just a way more clinical team. G1 will make a lot more mistakes, where Gen G will be a lot more patient, composed, you know, looking to capitalize type play, than where G1 probably needs to just be peaking and hit everything to beat a Gen G type of team. So again, I'm gonna go 4-2. Now Carmine versus G2. Wow, this is tough. Again, I hate being biased. Like, trust me, you think I want to put myself like getting, you know, top 8? I want to go further. Like, I think we can go further. I think we can win. But again, it's just like tough because, you know, Carmine's the #1 team in the world and we haven't really shown that potential yet. So how do I just pull that out of my my behind, if you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's tough. God. I'll let y'all let me know what y'all would put for this series score, because I'm curious what you would say. Obviously, no bias. I don't really get mad if y'all pick Carmine. Obviously, in my head, I want to say we're going to beat them. But for the sake of the predictions, just being not biased, I'm just going to give Carmine 4-3 just because, yeah. They're, just according to rankings, even though in my head, in my heart, I don't think that's where we finish. Just know that. But this is just a prediction sheet. You know what? Nah, whatever. I believe in karma. If I say we're gonna lose, we're gonna win. Watch. Liquid versus Auction. This is a crazy quarters. Honestly, Liquid kind of hasn't played a super tough match in their group, so I think they come out in the quarters and they kind of get a little stunned by Oxygen because they haven't really played this competition on stage. Might be in front of a crowd as well. So I think Oxygen comes out with a gut punch. Liquid responds, but it's too late at that point. So I'll say 4-3. Some crazy matches though. Now let's go Carmine Oxygen. Again, I do think Carmine's kind of owned statistically Auction Esports this season. I don't think that changes here, even though LAN, that does factor a lot where like teams that can own a certain team could just lose. So I'll go 4-2 for Carmine again. And then this might be a little bit of a basic answer, but I do believe Gen G could easily win this tournament if they, you know, be the team that we've seen them be. But I do think FaZe has figured something out with Gen G, and we've seen that in the past couple of regionals where they've kind of just demolished them. The past 2 games, again, not the biggest sample size, but I think FaZe knows something about Gen G that is, you know, causing these victories. So I'm going to go 4-3. And we get kind of the 2-1 seeds. Basic, right? But you guys show me your brackets, you know? How do you choose against like FaZe and Carmine? It's tough, right? You just can't. I'm going statistically speaking. But FaZe, Carmine, I'm going to pull for my FaZe boys. I want to see first killer sip and miss win a wager. Obviously, I want NA to do well, so I go 4-3. Game 7 thriller, Game 7 OT, you know, maybe an air dribble bump, who knows, or maybe a double flip reset. It either could happen. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Let me know, tweet me your predictions as well, and maybe you guys will spice it up more than me, because this was pretty basic, but again, this is me being absolutely realistic. Like, I think this has a 75% chance of happening, which is crazy for a prediction bracket. But yeah, that's going to do it. Make sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate all the support. And again, let me know what videos you guys want to see, and let's keep this thing rolling. Peace.